This time I'll call the November 10th, 2022 meeting to order for the Dickson County Commission. Would you please stand and join in the flag salute? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We do not have any additions to the agenda, so I would move that we approve the agenda as printed.
And I'll second it.
We have the motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The consent agenda includes the minutes of the November 3rd meeting, also payroll of $347,995.81.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
We have
Second.
the motion and the second for approval of the consent agenda. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Commission comments. Craig.
Yeah, last Friday, I went down to Mound City and attended the roving ceremony for its purpose. The facility was fairly new. I don't know who did their deal, but the jail it was across the street to the north from the courthouse. We got there, went to the courthouse and found out we had to go across the street, but it looks like it's less than a year old. So, also Monday, I extended the Soil Conservation Annual Tour. We went to the southern part of the county. Most of it was. We went up a little bit. Soil Conservation is doing a lot of good work with the producers. There is some changes in CRP, making it easier for people to get in. Monday night, then we did have we hosted the North Central, I want to call it North Central Regional County Commission meeting. We can speak about that later or whatever. And but that went real well. We'll be attending the biannual North Central Regional Planning Commission annual banquet. It's the 50th year, I believe. 50th year. Yeah, 50th year tonight. That's all I have, Lynn.
Okay, thank you. Ron.
Well, I just want to say I'm kind of glad we're getting a little bit of moisture now. It's been awful dry for a long time. I'm sure everybody appreciates getting that. So
I'll be attending that banquet also. Earlier today, we had our department head meeting. Elected officials, department heads gave us updates on the various aspects of what's going on in the county in their particular departments. And although some of the reports were brief, I guess every once in a while they kind of get to catch their breath. But I mean, everybody is working hard and a lot of great things happening here in Dickson County. That's all I have. We do not have any petitions or proclamations. Public comments, if there are any public comments, they could be made at this time. We do not have any public comments. We'll go ahead with our reports of county officers. So Brad, are you taking care of that, or Janelle?
We'll let Janelle.
You? Okay.
I'm here for support.
So as you said, we had the regional county meeting Monday night, and it was attended by 24 of our surrounding county members, commissioners, or a staff member. So, and we had a very good discussion on a variety of things. The biggest thing that we're all facing is employees and supply chain issues and whatnot. So kind of shared in some of our pain with each other, but it went very well, and I think everyone enjoyed it. And then we also had the sheriff give a tour of our new jail facility, and the bulk of the attendees went through that. And then we had a couple take a look at our new courtroom and the courthouse. So I know that Saline County is building a jail, so we hope we can go over there and take a tour of that, or I do anyway, see what that one looks like. But that was good.
I didn't know how many went through with Jerry. Were there quite a few?
I think every single one of them, with the exception of
I think there's only about 2 that took the courthouse tour.
I took Bruce up earlier that afternoon, and then Phil was the only one that went with me, so it was good.
Well, there's just a couple of them left.
Yeah, I think a couple of
One
them.
lady, Ottawa County, had a child. I think.
Yep, I think she left, and I think Trish had to leave too. So, because she'd already toured it, so
Right.
it was good. As Shiloh reported in the department manager meeting, they are still moving along on the bridge at 400 and Key that we had taken a look at. I think they've got the stringers and the pilings in and the caps on, and they're working on the drag sheeting. And obviously the weather's going to play a factor in that. So hopefully a few more weeks and that will be completed. The Quonset hut is going up at the You have a question?
No,
Okay.
I'm listening to you. So
So, just making sure. So.
just grab it on every word, yeah.
Signal for something, Carol Burnett or what? So the Quonset is going up at the county yards and hopefully they'll have that completed here in a few days. I know that Martin's anxious to utilize that. Rip Wrap, if you recall, we approved bids on that in September and that's going to start being installed on November 28th. They're on Jeep Road and 700 Avenue and then Sage and 1600 Avenue and the county crews will be hauling that. The boot was installed out front here and it's pretty sharp looking. That's a project that's been going around Abilene and one of our staff painted the boot, Steve Huff, Avid Environmental Services, and he did an outstanding job and we appreciate that.
Bruce looked at it before and he said, who's the guy that did this? He said, and I said, well, he works at county landfill. And I said, he did an excellent job.
County orders.
Yeah.
So Kathy was still working for us. We didn't do a story on that, but she's not working for us anymore.
It was really cool because of the history, starting with TC Henry and then moving around and he's got 22 in there. So, and just, it's amazing what he's done. So, and then we are also participating in Operation Green Light this week from November 7th to 13th. And this is a nationwide initiative that NACO had visited with us about when we were at the conference there in July, and we wanted to honor our veterans. So we've got the courthouse lit up at night with green, and then we will be closed for Veterans Day tomorrow. So thank you to all of the veterans that we have employed here, as well as all of the veterans that are living in the county and that. Just a couple of reminders, like you said, we've got the Regional Planning Commission banquet tonight in Beloit, and then the canvas for November 18th at 9:30 a.m. for the election results. So that'll be here in this room.
Okay, thank you. Of course, one of the great things about democracy is the election day when we're able to vote. And congratulations to Ron.
Thank you.
You were
More
successful.
enthusiasm, Ron.
And
I'm thankful.
it's being modest, but also I think it'd be good to hear something from Jeannie because the clerk's office does a great job on that, but lots of responsibilities and it's kind of a one-time situation, everything at once. So would you give us a little bit of a update?
We have 13,821 registered voters, and we had 6,806 that cast ballots for the election. We had 593 advance ballots mailed out and 1,096 walk-ins. And we have 92 provisional ballots to count on the canvas. And that was a 49% turnout.
The mail-in ballots that were postmarked election day or before, you're still receiving those, probably even some today, and then.
As long as they are postmarked by November 8th, we can accept them until the 14th.
Okay. Well, I appreciate all the work you do and the oversight and, there was a lot of information on the ballot, but as you mentioned to us earlier, thank you to you and your staff and those that did all of the early tallies, got all the information in, everything filled out, and then you were here well after the polls closed at 7 o'clock into the evening.
Into the morning.
Into the morning. Okay, so thank you.
I got you a question on the provisionals, Jeannie. Do we know, are they sorted by precincts and stuff? Or do we do that later?
We will do that when
Okay, I didn't know when we opened, I didn't know if you had them.
So they'll bring,
we can. We'll have them sorted.
Okay, well, I was just wondering, since the sales tax issue in the city of Abilene, if that, if there's only 50 or 60 provisional ballots for city of Abilene, it's not going to affect their outcome. Okay.
And when we do the canvas, that is something that if the public would want to observe, we have a seating area that they can come in and observe the process. And then will it be streamed also? Is that not necessarily?
yeah, we can do that.
Okay. I think that's all we have for that. We do not have
You have-
Notices and communications, I did.
Did you want to ask Doug if he's got anything?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Doug's all ready. Thank you.
I don't have that much to share with you anyway. I did get to speak as a veteran at the St. Andrews on yesterday, and fourth and fifth graders, and they had some interesting questions. That
And
was,
you are a veteran.
I am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I got to be in the Eisenhower's honor guard at the time of his funeral, which was interesting because I was in the National Guards at that time. And so I got the call to come, and I got a call and they said, you need to report to Fort Riley. I said, well, what for? And they said, well, to get refit for uniforms and work on your marching and so forth, get refreshened with that. I said, well, am I being activated? Well, yes, you are. For what? And they said, Eisenhower's funeral. And I said, Eisenhower's not deceased, he's alive. And they said, well, we know that, but he will by a certain date. They said within 10 days. And I told him before that, I said, listen, I'm a college student up here at Emporia State, and I'm getting ready for finals, and I need to study for that. And they said, you will report. So I reported, and as it turned out, then I don't know of anybody else. I mean, I don't know why I was picked to, other than I was born in Abilene, so maybe that was the connection. But we were assigned to Secret Service in front of the museum. And so when we got there, I was the only one from Abilene that I know of that was in the military that was in that. And so when I got there, why Secret Service said, okay, you're working with us. And they explained about the little thing on their lapels, which we all know about now, but at that time we didn't particularly. Had their little
Insignia.
up there on their coat. And so then the guy said, now we'll be right up here in front. And every car, every limousine that stopped, somebody got out, and they were all people that I had only seen on television, because cell phones weren't invented yet and other things. And so I had the perfect sight. It was from me to where you guys are. I was that close to it. And the Secret Service guy said, I'm telling you right now that when the president's car comes up, if that rifle, and we had live ammo, he said, if that rifle, the butt of that rifle leaves the concrete, I'll kill you. Okay, I got it. Car, yeah, when the president's car came up, and we had the Nixon's daughters and Mary Eisenhower, she came up, and they came up and they asked if there were 5 or 6 of us guarding the museum, and they come up and said, well, where's the bathroom at? And I was in the middle of it, so I said, well, it's inside. What are you going to say?
I'm not looking to buy that rifle.
But it was really interesting because I got to see people that I had only seen on television or heard about and things, and they were, I could watch them get out of their car and go on, and I said, wow, getting to see everybody. So what a privilege that was to have been selected for that. And so I was honored for that. The other thing, I visited with Leah this morning, and I got the tax information. There may be a total of, I'm just guessing because I don't have a sheet for a count on them, probably 70 to 90. And I visited with her about, does she think that the county needs to take any actions in regards to anything different with these? And she said, I can go either way with it, but I don't think we have a problem with it. I would tend to agree with her because you wouldn't have known, but probably 20 years ago when I started in this, there hadn't been a tax sale for 5, 6 years. And so we had a tremendous number. And then every year it went fine up until the virus here. And then we fell back behind. And so we had a big number. Craig, you were here in the hallway. There was over 100. And I'm guessing there's probably, I don't know yet, 70 to 90. And so when I talked to Leah about this, I said, do we have a problem where people are specifically and intentionally staying behind, not wanting to buy or to pay their taxes in a timely fashion. And her and I both agreed it doesn't appear that we have that problem. So if we don't adopt anything, I don't see it being a problem, but if it turns into one, we can certainly adopt one. You and I had that conversation, but it doesn't appear that we have that problem. And I don't know when the tax sale will be, whether if we could get it in December, okay, probably January, because we want to get the return on the resources and the finances that we can from it. So I don't know, well, December or January, if we did it in December, it's probably pretty tough on people. And then we're subject to weather and so forth. And January may be the same, but we'll be ready to go. It will not take us long to get ready, and we'll be ready to go. So I'll keep you posted with that as to our projected time frame, and then look forward to your input to say here would be a good time to do it as opposed to a different time to do it, because we want to. I never like the idea of somebody come in, I'll pay $1, and
Right.
there's a lot of lost taxes that way. So we'll see. That's the update with that. So in the next week, I'll be able to give you a number count and how soon I think we can get it ready to go. And then however you want me to proceed with it, why we will.
Okay.
That's all I have. You have,
Yeah, Leah's feeling is that there's no, the payments aren't going to be made no matter what. If we wait till after the first of the year, that's what you're saying, Doug?
no, she wasn't. I was asking her about, do you have people who are coming in and they want to pay the oldest year
Okay.
only? And do they want to stay behind and always just stay like that they're
Pay in the rear.
fringe of being named in this? Because we just don't really have many of those people that,
Okay.
I just can't think of any that we have that on. Now, some fall behind and then they catch up and then they fall behind again, but the numbers are very small. And it doesn't appear that there's groups who are saying, no, I'm just going to stay behind because if something happens, my heir can worry about it. Something like that.
I think she's worked hard with the escrow program to
Well, that's what I,
help too.
what I was, and that's what I was asking, if she thought there was any, some of these people that were in rear, were had seen her and wanted to pay, but that's not the case.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Notices and communications, didn't have very much. We did have from Iron Insurance Partners sent us a certificate of liability insurance. And so we'll have that on record. And it is, the insured was Harbin Construction. So often kind of the housekeeping, this is one of the items that a person does have to have proper insurance or bonding in certain instances and for contracts. And so we did receive that and we'll have that on record. Were there any other emails or directives, thoughts given to anyone? We do not have unfinished business or other business. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
I'll second it.
We have the motion and second to adjourn. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We're adjourned.